Hello friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm reading to you from Luke chapter 19, starting at verse 1 and reading through verse 10. Hear now these words. Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through it. A man was there named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd, he could not because he was short in stature. So Zacchaeus ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see Jesus because Jesus was going to pass that way. When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today." So he hurried down and was happy to welcome Jesus. All who saw it began to grumble and said, "He has gone to be the guest of one who is a sinner." Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor. And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much." Then Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save the lost." This story is probably one of the most popular that have been told to children. And in fact, a song was written about this that just about every kid who ever went to church learned. Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. Do you recognize that opening line and melody? Well, it comes from this story. The story of Zacchaeus, who is notorious for being a tax collector, and in those days to collect taxes meant one was cooperating with Rome, who was their governmental overlord. It also meant that the tax collector was likely a thieving, cheating individual. For you see, the Romans didn't care how much tax was collected as long as they got their portion. So, to put it in modern terms, let's say the tax bill is $100. Well, Zacchaeus might say, "You owe $500, and there was nothing the person could do to dispute that. So Zacchaeus would collect $500, send $100 to the Roman government, and keep the other 4 for himself. And so the people, when they see Jesus interacting with Zacchaeus, they can't believe it. They can't believe that Jesus would not know what a bad, awful, rotten, horrible person Zacchaeus was. But Jesus saw something in Zacchaeus that no one else did. Jesus saw a man who was hungry to know the Lord. And that hunger drove Zacchaeus to the extreme of climbing in a sycamore tree. And when Jesus acknowledged him, when Jesus recognized him and claimed Zacchaeus as a fellow member of the human race, one who has received God's love, Zacchaeus becomes a changed man. And so he's willing to give away half of all that wealth that he had accumulated. And anybody that he had charged $500 for when it was only $100 in taxes, Zacchaeus says, "I'm going to pay them back." Pay them back 4 times. What is 4 times 400? 1,600. So Zacchaeus is giving back $1,600 to anybody who took $400 from. And he's already given away half of his possessions to the poor. I imagine by the time that Zacchaeus is done doing what he told Jesus he would do, he has nothing left. And because Zacchaeus is willing to give everything away in order to gain Jesus, Jesus says salvation has come to this man, for he too is a son of Abraham. My friends, when we hold on, that's when we lose the most. If we are willing to let go and to be generous, we will experience and receive greater generosity from God, greater blessings than we can possibly imagine. Now, these will not be material blessings necessarily, but they will be blessings. joy, peace, happiness, contentment. Those things can't be bought at any price. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily devotion.